Hi everyone, it's Nicole, and I have another layout using the Planetarium kit, and I seem to have a problem with getting rid of scraps. Before I did the Studio Calico kit, I have this folder of pattern paper that I would do like one layout using, a little bit of it, and then I have this huge folder of pattern papers that are unused. So I think now that I've kind of, started using as many scraps as possible, I really like that once I'm done with the kit, basically I take the scraps and I throw them out. I don't put them in that folder. So I really like that. And I found there was just too many scraps left. And also my challenge this week on the Facebook group was to use your scraps. So I think you're going to see a couple more layouts using the scraps because I'll tell you about it a little bit. So these I cut down. When I looked at my scraps, I'm like, well, there's only about 3 3/4 left by 3 3/4 out of each pattern paper. So I cut them down by 3 3/4 by 3 3/4, and then I use some Hero Arts Shadow Gray or Shadow ink. It's the deep gray ink, and I just inked all the edges. And while I was gluing it down and I had the 9 squares, it just dawned to me that it looked like a Project Life layout. So I'm going to do two things for my giveaway. I asked people what they would like, for me to do or work on, and just to kind of challenge myself to try new stuff. And one of them was to use more photos. So on this page, I'm going to use 9 photos. And another one was to do a layout project lifestyle. So I'm going to complete 2 things with this. I'm going to do the more than, a lot of pictures on one layout and kind of project lifestyle. So I went through a whole stack of pictures and I found pictures from the whole week on our vacation. And I had no rhyme or reason for the size that I was cutting them down. They're all different sizes. It's basically what worked out best for each photo. And then I thought, well, this looks like a week in review. So that's what the title of the page is going to be. So then you saw me move around the pictures, and it's basically almost in the order of how the week went. I should have put the second photo in the first slot, if that makes any sense, and the one I'm cutting out now should have been in the second, but those are the only 2 that are sort of out of order. And I never noticed till the page was completely done, because the second photo was actually on the way there. We stopped for fuel and we kind of took a break and we ate, I believe, at that. No, we ate before, but we just stopped and kind of gave the baby a break, and so that should have been in the first slot. So now that I know I want to do this kind of project lifestyle, I was going to do all the pictures in gray, and then I thought, well, no, maybe I should do them in different colors. So I do one in the navy, and then I thought, no, I'm just going to keep them matted all in the gray, and then I'll just do the kind of the layering on each photo, different colors. And this photo here, my brother is horrible for taking photos. So at the end, we were actually like, everything was packed up, we were leaving, and we said, okay, let's take a group photo in front of, the cabin. And he was like, no, I don't want to. And we said, oh, come on. So he walked over, and my camera, you can set it so that it, you can click and then you run and so delay in the photograph. Anyway, while it was a delay, he kind of walked away, but my camera was on wide angle, so it still caught him, but he was sort of way over. So in order to still put him in the photo, I had to cut him separately and then kind of piece the photo together, but you really can't tell. So that was it's kind of worked out good. So now where I want to do this project lifestyle, I thought I would go through my project life kits. And I think it's time that I start Project Life. I have 6 core kits, 6 of them. but I do use them on my scrapbook pages. But you know what? Doing this, it's because I've never done a Project Life page, and it seemed, I don't know, kind of big for me or whatever. But now that I've done this, I'm like, oh, this is fun, because each little square is kind of its own little page. And so I had fun with it. So I'm hoping that I'll be able to start my Project Life on my next time that I'm off, because today's Friday, August 30th, and I go back to work tomorrow. So there was one card that said snapshot at the bottom, so I kind of cut it off, and I'm going to put it at the bottom of one photo. And then there was another one that had little clouds, so I kind of cut the top off and put it at the top of the photo. I cut out the camera, but I don't end up using it. It's just too big, excuse me, for this layout. And then as I was doing that, I'm like, oh yeah, those Simple Stories 6x6 pads, they have little sheets that you can cut separately. So then I decided to go through all my stash of 6x6 paper pads and try to find some other ones that had little die cuts that I could cut out, because then it would fit this layout even better than the Project Life cards, because they're shrunk down. So I take out about, I don't know, maybe 6 or 7 6x6 paper pads, different collection. I have Amy Tangerine, American Craft, and Simple Stories, and a whole bunch of different ones. And I go through and rip out the page and then see if I can use them. So while I'm doing that, this is layout the 20th layout using the Planetarium kit. And it took me 1 hour and 37 minutes. And like I said, I tried 3 times to put this kit away, and as I'm going through the papers, I keep coming out with new ways to use my scraps. So I have another layout completely done, and this morning I was going to do a Kill a Kit video, and as I was looking at the papers, I thought of another layout. So I'm just going to do it, and then I'll start the new kit while I'm back at work. So I took out all my labels, and in the last few hauls that I did, I ordered a whole bunch of different new layouts and new labels and little words. So I going to go through all of them, and then as I find some that, and I'm not being too picky, if it's something that coordinates with the layout, or the words kind of go with the page, I just take it out and I use my powder tool and I take the stickiness away and I put it there. And if I don't use it, I'll just put it away and use it another time. So I kind of walked away for a bit, and then the electricity went out for 5 hours. So I didn't have enough lighting in here, because of course it was a cloudy day, so there was not enough sunshine coming through because it was cloudy. So I couldn't record even though my battery was totally charged up. So I cleaned up my room, and as I did that, I found a bunch of stuff that I want to use on this layout, including the stamp set that we got a few months back in a Project Life. And one of them said, here we are, with a little geotag, and I stamped that on a speech bubble. The arrow that I stamped on this is the good stuff. And then now I'm working on my title, and I'm using the pink letters that we got from Basic Gray. And then I found those American Craft stickers, blue stickers, as I was cleaning out. Right in front of where I scrap, I made my own containers to put stuff that I want really accessible right in front of me. Anyway, those containers were they were just awful. Like, I have a little container that's for washi tape, and I must have had 50 washi tape in there. So it was just, everything needed a good cleanup. So I went through all those boxes and cleaned them all out. So now I can find stuff and everything's back in order. And so it was kind of a good thing that the electric went out for 5 hours, because I was planning on doing this, but I had other things prioritized before this. So now, I found those brads that were from this month's kit that I had put away in one of those containers and totally forgot about them. So I took them out and I'm going to use them on this layout and the next layout. And then now I feel good about everything. I took out some wood veneers, and now I'm going to go to each little, almost like mini page, and I'm going to start gluing everything down. I had found one tag that said outside fun, and I put it on that second photo. And the third photo, it says we were here. And now I found this stamp set too that was from my Mind's Eye cut and paste, and I'm going to use that. I put down a wood veneer that said wow, and then with my brads there was one that said smile big. And then I also found those ribbons that my friend, it was like a sample pack from Stampin' Up, so I wanted to use those, and I put it in 3 different locations. And then now I want to stamp right above the picture, and it says hashtag pick of the day. And I thought it was quite appropriate because one of the restaurants that we, just on the side of the road, that we stopped at to kind of have a break and eat, they had the cars from Dukes of Hazzard just in their parking lot that you could take pictures with them. And the kids they just loved it, and they want to take pictures in front of the Dukes of Hazzard cars. And so that was the pick of the day for us, And I kind of made a mess on the photo. So again, as I was going through, I found some pebble stickers, and that little scallop sticker had fallen off. So it was either use it or it was probably going to get wrecked. So I just decided to use it on this page. So now I'm going to show you a close-up of every single little picture, just so that you can see each little almost mini page by itself. And if you want to see some still pictures, you can join my Facebook group, and the link is going to be in the description, or you can go to 2 Peas in a Bucket or Studio Calico in the members gallery and look for Nicole Jones 911. And I upload all my layouts there. And I think I mentioned everything. So this layout was super fun. I'm glad that, the pattern paper was really the only thing that I used from the kit, and everything else was from my stash. So I feel good that I ended up using a lot from my stash. So that's it. The page is done. So thanks for watching. Bye.